Welcome to the Monday Movie Club. This week, Joel picked Fantastic Planet from 1973. It's number 2,520 on the Frankenbus, so right about the halfway point.
Better than some others we've watched.
That's right, exactly. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us, as always, Joel Fenster. Didn't take a funny name this week. Mark Wotis Gardner, no picture. Go fuck, no cringer. And Annie King in the kitchen where she belongs. But all of my northern friends are in a snowstorm right now. Suckers.
And
I am
Amy is
at,
apparently in a tunnel because it's so dark in there.
I know.
and
Powers.
I am at Epcot today. It's gonna get up to 75 degrees. I'm sorry. Hey Joel, why Fantastic Planet?
Because it's a good animated film, and I figured, to make people more mature and sophisticated, we need to get away from the Hollywood stuff that we're constantly doing, and get outside that box. So,
All right. Well, here's the plot. This animated tale follows the relationship between the small human-like Ohms and their much larger blue-skinned oppressors. Wait, wasn't that Avatar? Okay. Who ruled the planet of, I don't know, Yagam?
yep.
Yagam. It's animated, yeah, but don't call it a cartoon. That's wrong. Like in the early 70s, right, Joel, there was a little bit of adult animated cartoons. Not like Fritz the Cat, but, Yellow Submarine and
Yeah,
that
I mean,
kind of.
and it's not just the 70s. I mean, if you get outside the Hollywood box, there are plenty of animated pieces like this from the 50s on, from various countries.
It's
So,
maybe,
quite
maybe
frankly, we like our animated box. So,
Frank, you're sitting at a place that has spit out a lot of animated movies.
yes, but
Built
they're
by the
Hollywood box movies.
Uh,
Okay, well, this one is definitely not for children. Definitely not. And
Was it the nudity that gave it away?
maybe. But it was definitely strange, a little weird, but I don't know, very French. This is what I wrote. Where nothing is explained, but everything means something. You're like, wait, what? Where? Okay. And the animation style kind of reminded me of Monty Python a little bit. The opening, that kind of Terry Gilliam kind of thing. And it was kind of beautiful, but it was also very creepy. And yeah, it was just weird. And so I had never even heard of this movie before. Nobody saw it before, I am assuming.
Well, I did.
Now, did who watched the English version and who watched the French version? Did anybody watch the English version?
no.
No.
I think we all watched the French version on HBO.
I was just wondering if it was different.
Yes, it's in English and there's no subtitles.
No, I meant how they might have changed some
No,
of
the plot is when I first saw this, I saw it on it was like Channel 9 at a late night movie or something like that, and
they figured people were stoned anyway.
Exactly. I was at a party at a friend's house. A number of people were staying over anyway, and we're looking for something on TV, and all of a sudden this popped up, and it looked interesting, and it was creepy, and it was interesting, and then it got creepier, and we all stayed up too late and had nightmares. It was, loads of fun.
But I think it's oddly appropriate right now because I wrote it's about oppression and dehumanization, and you watch humans getting casually crushed, experimented on, or erased by the indifferent rulers. It hits harder a little bit right now.
Sure does.
And it certainly refuses to sentimentalize any of it.
Nope.
There's no cute rebellion at the end, no rousing speech of yes. And I wouldn't say it's a movie that you enjoy as much as you just kind of experience it and then it's over. But I didn't hate it. I did find it a little fascinating, a little interesting, and certainly weird, for sure. So, but it's also, isn't it a little bit of a cult classic, Jolie?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely is. It's got definite following. It's on Blu-ray. It's part of the Criterion Collection. They
And
added
it's
it
so,
to,
and it's so, and it's so political.
Yeah.
Really. So, and so I think it really was like nothing I've ever watched. So I found it very interesting. I'm giving it 3.25. Definitely interesting for me, and I think whoever made it was a little on crack at the time. That's what Andy, were you bothered by any of it? What's going on in Minnesota?
No, and I think I'm just at that point of not as mature and sophisticated as I thought maybe. But there was so much going on. I didn't even have like formed thoughts about any of it. There's a lot of like just comparisons like, oh, they're like cockroaches, the humans.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's a lot going on, and maybe like you said, I just kind of watched it. I really didn't like get too deep into
Right.
it. Maybe a second viewing, although that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because you really can't absorb it because you have no idea where it's going ever.
Right.
Did both of you guys, I felt like I had a comparison to Planet of the Apes too, how they just regarded humans as just cockroaches, like you said.
Yeah, but that's in the Hollywood box. Let's get out of that.
There was a comparison there.
Yes, but to Mark's comparison, both of those are based on French science fiction novels.
Right.
So,
I knew that.
The French were very doom and gloom.
yes.
Yeah. I thought at one point when like when the four of them were meditating and the colors were swirling, and I was like, oh, you definitely need to be high to like
Yes.
enjoy this part.
Same.
That was definitely a little page from 2001.
Yeah. So yeah, some of it was like really slow, and I was like, okay, let's just kind of keep moving it along, and then like you said, I didn't know where it was going. So I really can't tell you much because I don't think I was like really thinking as I was watching. So I'm going to give it a 2.5.
And you would think, since it's an animated movie and each cell had to be drawn, they would have been like, all right, maybe we don't need to use that scene. Maybe we'll make it a little shorter. No. All right, go fuck. You watched it weeks ago.
Yeah. But I still can picture it. The one thing that I wrote down, well, copied, that I loved was the plot line of the story is simple. You enslave a race of beings and take them for granted. Then one of them eventually learns your language and unites all his fellow slaves into an organized attack. Suddenly you've been conquered. And that's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that I expected. What I wrote was, I've never been a fan of things that are surreal. I'm not into surrealism and having to interpret symbolism. So I'm not mature and sophisticated that way. Even with going to film school, I do appreciate allegories. So I really appreciated that part of the film. Clearly, it's about, among other things, racism and animal rights, which I immediately got at the beginning. And I love that realization that you feel. I read a plot summary somewhere. I don't think it was IMDb after I finished the movie as well as while going along. And the summary I read was fascinating. It made this movie seem really, really interesting, but I just didn't get it from just one viewing of the movie. It was a bit confusing. So it's kind of all over the place. So as I said, I'm definitely not mature and sophisticated enough for a movie like this. 2.75 stars. I'm only going up to 2.75. I would never want to watch it again. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I can appreciate the whole allegory and, the flicking of the woman. It was like, oh my God, that was great.
They were a bunch of dicks, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. But so are we, especially in the 70s, to animals.
Well, it's little kids burning ants. That's what I
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
When she
Yes,
was
and
doing
those
the cloud
collars.
and the rain over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the collars and the,
Yeah.
all of that.
No.
All right, Mark. Not mature and sophisticated enough for this one.
Yeah, I'm with the group on this one here. But I do have to say to Joel, I fully admit it. I was waiting for this movie to suck hard and to just be complete homework, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It did not suck. And it was a little bit of homework, but it wasn't bad. But as the other said, I do not need to see this one again. And of course, I'm going to address the obvious, the elephant in the room here. Drawing aliens and humans with their titties out is definitely something I would do if I could draw. But I am not sophisticated. I am not mature. The fact that someone actually did this for real in 1973 it's hilarious that someone actually said, I'm going to make a movie like this. I'm a little disappointed that the ladies, these humans here don't have one titty out like everyone else in the movie did. Just like the one shawl, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think the movie was produced by One Titty Out Productions.
It must have been.
And to me, when we were seeing them, I was like, really, we need to see this.
It was.
That's what
Right.
makes
But
it
it's
fun.
Little baby
It's
peonies.
French.
Yes, the little weenie. Yeah, so that.
It's French. They love the human body.
Yeah.
Well, and that brings me to the next point. I certainly wasn't expecting the glowing full frontal group strip scene. And isn't this like PG?
I
Was
don't
it even rated?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
I don't think it was rated.
Anyway, I'm honestly thinking that I eventually make a time machine and go back in time to France to 1973 and make this movie because it's ridiculous.
It is rated PG.
Not make the movie,
Yeah.
be in the movie.
Yep, there we go. I'm in.
Which part? Which race?
Oh, I want to be in that full group strip scene and take one of the ladies to the cave. Yeah.
Sure.
I hated the combat animal scene. It was so bizarre, and of course, I hated them killing the victorious animal just because. But again, I know I get it, allegory, like Amy said. Just stuff like that bothers me, even if it's just animated. And then I wrote, and now we're back with weird alien sex rituals toward the end, which was this movie. I thought the ending wrapped things up too neatly and easily. It's like all of a sudden, the last 2 minutes, oh, and now we all get along, and it's a happy ending. Overall, just a bit too bizarre for me, but much better than last year's French movie about the mime that Joel made me watch. What the hell was that?
The Magician, the Illusionist.
The Illusionist. Okay, Danielle liked that one better. She liked that one. I hated that one. I enjoyed this one. It's 2.5 stars.
Okay, Joel. How many times have you seen it?
Um,
Un, deux, trois, quatre.
yeah, so more than that. I've seen it less than a dozen times. I know that.
Wait, so how did you discover it? Was this a film from school? Film school?
Oh, I told you how
No.
I.
Oh, Channel 9. Channel 9.
Yeah, it was Channel 9, and I was at.
That was the first time.
I was a camp counselor. We were having a party at somebody's house. Nobody was kind of planning on going anywhere. We were, we split up into different groups doing different things, and those of us that were in the living room found this on television. It was like
the nerds decided to watch TV.
Yeah, basically, and we're
What, Dungeons and Dragons wasn't available?
not at this person's house now. It was weird. It was creepy, but it was engaging. And I was like, when it was over, I was like all of you. I was like, I don't want to watch this ever again. But at the same time, I was like, I need to know what this is, because we missed like the opening of it, so we had no idea what it was called or anything. And it probably took me a year or two to figure out what we had watched. And I was able to find it at the video store, and I watched it again. And this time it was, no, I think it was still in English. I don't think I saw it in French until I was in college, when I actually found a copy of it that was in French with the subtitles. And I love the movie. It's very much, it's hard sci-fi. I mean, it's really, it throws you into a world that you do not know, that you have to pick up what's going on, running with it, as the movie runs. And I think there's some great animation in the film. There's some inventive and interesting background stuff. I mean, like the flora on this planet is just amazingly creepy and disturbing at times, where you had that, like the flower that was like a cage that would spit out other cages and grab the the things that were flying in the air, and it wouldn't even eat them. It would just like
Yeah.
slam them on the ground.
Yes.
Like, okay,
That's American consumerism right there.
well, yeah, but that's the thing is that, you know, if you watch it enough times, you start picking up on every little allegory that is running through this film. And I think,
And that's why I loved reading that detailed synopsis. I was like,
Yeah.
this movie sounds like a great movie.
But it's not the movie that you watched.
Right.
right. But it would be if you want. I'm not saying you should all go watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
A couple
so
of
nobody wants to watch a movie they need explained to them.
Well,
normal people don't want to watch a movie they need explained to them.
These people, right here.
I get it though, Joel. I like in a couple of years, could I, under the right circumstances?
Sure. Yeah. And
If it's 11 o'clock, everybody wants to do nothing, and it's on Channel 9.
right.
Or if I start taking drugs,
Right.
that'd be perfect.
I don't think Channel 9 does that anymore. I'm sure at this point that time in the morning they're running, you know, My Pillow ads and shit, which are a lot creepier. But anyway, I you know, as I said, I've seen it before. I'll see it again at some point. I just get into that mood where I haven't seen this in a while, and I want to dive in and see where I'm going. So.
Yeah, I think I would definitely watch it again.
And it is, according to Rolling Stone, it's number 36 on the 40 most important animated films ever made. So that's got something going.
I think if I was at your house or Joel and you had it on, I would absolutely watch it now, knowing it. I would watch it. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Right. No, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So-
Joe, I agree too. It is an important film because of how it, you know, allows animation to say something.
Sure. And it's still I mean, it's still unfortunately very timely because we're living in a
And
time.
we wouldn't have movies like Persepolis
Right. Exactly.
today if this didn't happen.
Just a couple of interesting trivia bits about the film. Even though it came out in 1973, they actually started making it in the mid 60s. And it took so long to make because the Russians invaded Czechoslovakia, which is where the film was being animated. Even though it's a French film, the animators were Czech. And the creators of the film went on to make two other animated science fiction films. One is called Time Masters, and it's just as weird and interesting. The other one, the original version they made, I believe, is called Gandahar, which I have never seen because it's hard to get a copy of. It was released in the United States after being redirected and redubbed by the Weinstein brothers. And I think it's called Light Years or something like that. So, yeah.
But Joel, to that point, I was thinking of you yesterday. I was on HBO Max and I was flipping around to see stuff, and I saw Time Bandits, and I was like, "Oh, 1981, Terry Gilliam." I think I saw that when I was a kid. Let me just read what it's actually about. And then you may like underneath it recommended. The first movie that was recommended was Fantastic Planet. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." So,
well, you should go rewatch Time Bandits. It's a great movie. But anyway, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 because it's a great movie.
I'll do it for George Harrison.
For George.
All right, cool. All right, so Fantastic Planet, as Mark said, is on HBO Max. Next week, Annie picks Now You See Me from 2013.
Fun.
It's not on any streaming service.
Bum, bum, bum.
Not fun.
That's it. I'm Frank Gaffney coming to you from Epcot. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.